Example 1, determine the domain and range of each of the following. In these two graphs, we have discrete data, so we have points. So in order to state the domain and range, the easiest way, all we have to do is state the coordinates in order from lowest to highest, and if any of them repeat, only state them once. So first we're going to focus on the domain. That means we have to identify all the x coordinates of the points that are shown. If I'm going from the lowest x coordinate to the highest, I'm going to go from left to right when I look at the point. So this point has an x coordinate of -2. The next point has an x coordinate of -1. The next point has an x coordinate of 0. The next one has an x coordinate of 1. And the last point has an x coordinate of 3. So that's my domain. These are all possible x coordinates that make up this graph. Now for the range. For the range, I'm going to look at the y coordinates of all the points. If I want to go from lowest to highest value, I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. So I'm starting with the lowest point. Its y coordinate is going to be -2. Now the next 3 points have an y coordinate of -1. I only have to state that once. And then the last point has a y coordinate of 1. So that's my range. So all the points on the graph will have one of these y coordinates. Let's look at one more example here. Starting with the domain. Now, you have to be careful, make sure you're looking at the scale. This one I scaled by by 2s. Okay, by 2s. So each square is 2 units. Okay, so starting with the leftmost point, I would have an x coordinate of -6, followed by the next point, which has an x coordinate of -4. And this one will have an x coordinate of -2. Next one will have an x coordinate of 2. Then 4, followed by 6. So that's my domain. And those are all the possible x coordinates that make up the graph. The range, I would have to start from the bottom moving up. Again, the y-axis is scaled by 10s there. And 10s over here, by the way. Okay. So the lowest point has a y coordinate of -4. And this one has a y coordinate of -2. This one 0. This one 2. And these two share the same y coordinate of 6. So that is my range. So that's how you would state it for discrete data. For continuous data that we're going to look at next, you have to use set notation.